everything you need to know about the Texas rig. Your traditional Texas rig with free moving weight is going to be your most effective option. You are going to need a slide weight, a bullet weight, a hook of your choice, and a soft plastic bait of your choice. To rig this up, I'm going to be using a 20-pound braided line, and I'm basically using this line because it shows up well on camera. You're going to slide that bullet weight on there first. You're going to tie on your hook. You're going to tie a basic uni knot. Get this on there. All right, so once you tie your hook on, this is what you got. You got a hook and a bullet weight that's going to slide freely up and down your line. That's what a Texas rig is. Now you're going to rig your favorite soft plastic to this. Go ahead and bury that hook point in there right until that it hits that bend. I'm going to bring it out, pull this all the way down there and rotate it around. And you're going to take this, bend that bait over, stick it all the way through, and then you can Texpose it, make it completely weedless. And you can use it in almost any circumstance. Vegetation, docks, a ridiculously effective rig. Okay, so what happens now? When you cast this out there, your rig's going to hit the water. That weight is going to slide down that line. It's going to hit the ground. Your bait's going to hang up here, and it's going to slowly sink, and that's exactly what you want. Now you can give this little twitches, nudges with your line, and that is normally when this thing gets bit. As far as equipment, you can fish it on a bait caster or a spinning reel. Now of course you can fish it on a heavy action rod or a medium action rod, but 7-foot medium heavy is perfect for a Texas rig technique. Hooks, obviously a standard offset round bend, extra wide gap hook, both are fine. Fishing line, you can fish this on pretty much any kind of fishing line you want. Braid, fluoro, mono. Hey, fluoro's less visible, but whatever works for you and the situation you're in. As far as retrieves, there's a few different retrieves you can do with the Texas rig. Now typically I like to throw this at something, let it sink, raise your rod tip up slowly, and then just let that bait fall. Or you can do short little hops with it, just kind of hop that right along the bottom, give it a little pause, or you can drag it, or you can swim it, where you just kind of reel it in and kind of keep that bait up in the water column. There's a variation you can make to this rig that a lot of people like to do where they peg this weight. Normally I don't peg it, but there's a couple instances where I do. One instance is if I'm fishing really heavy vegetation, because what that's going to do when it hits that grass, the whole bait's going to fall through. The other instance is if I'm trying to do precision casting. If I'm trying to skip this underneath the dock, if I'm trying to fit it in really tight spots, I want this all to stay together because it's going to make it easier to cast accurately. You're going to need weight pegs, a bullet weight, an offset hook, and a soft plastic of your choice. And in this one, you're going to start off a little bit differently. These are weight pegs, and these are used to hold your weight in place. And they come in packs like this. They got this little ring on the top of them, and what you do is you just put your line right through there, and then you just pull them off. Just like that. Now it's on the line. Pull that up. All right, then you're going to put your weight on, just like normal. And then your hook again. All right, so you tie your hook on this one, and then that little peg you put on there, what you do is you pull it down. So when you do it this way, this is how it's going to look. That weight is not going to move at all. When this hits the water, the whole thing is just going to go down. And the reason people do this is because it gives them complete control over the weight. Absolutely one of the best rigs you can use. Very hard to mess it up. Anybody can fish with it, and it almost always catches fish. If you're fishing thick vegetation, I would go with the peg. If not, then don't peg it. And that is the Texas rig.